I'm Tim.
I'm Amber. Yep.
Hopefully.
I don't know about good
Unless
at it.
you're me as of Friday, and I was a little grumpy.
Yeah.
To which I dearly apologize to both of you. That was...
So I think we're kind of starting to achieve a new normal, and unfortunately the virus continues to spread and continues to be an issue.
Yes.
I saw this weekend we had the first official death in Salina.
Yes,
Yep.
we did.
And
Yep.
every time I hear people or see people post stay at home, it makes me feel bad for going out for walks because I'm not going out to socialize because I know
Yeah.
going out solo is fine, but I still
Yeah.
feel terrible every time I see those.
No, I gotcha. I totally get where you're coming from there. Really quick, I'm just gonna start worldwide and then we'll work our way down local.
Sounds good.
So worldwide, we are currently at 1.2 million cases with 70,000 deaths.
Wow.
As of today, the United States is by far in the lead, and then followed by Spain is second, Italy is third, Germany is fourth, and mainland China is fifth. So they continue to fall. And it does appear like we are getting slower growth rates in the United States, for instance.
That's good at least.
Yeah, if you
to a
look at
degree.
last week, that case growth rate did slow down, and now we're back, I guess, in the slower growth rate again. So there's some positive things there. I think the real concern is that this thing is going to slow down, and then people are going to stop social distancing, and then we're going to be back where we were at. So
Yeah.
I hope not.
So let's go to the U.S. then. So in the U.S. we have 336,776 cases with just under 10,000 deaths, and obviously that is by far centered in New York State. There's 122,900 cases there, and there are about 4,100 deaths.
That's crazy.
So obviously pretty scary. And I don't know if they've had it for long, but the New York Times has come out with state-by-state maps as well. So now I can tell you and look pretty in-depth at Kansas, which is really nice. So there's 763 cases in Kansas and 23 deaths so far. The biggest outbreaks are obviously in eastern Kansas, Johnson County,
Kansas City area.
with 192 cases with 8 deaths, and Wyandotte with 161 cases and 6 deaths.
Wow.
Wichita, I'm going to move over to the death side of things here. So there's very few communities in Kansas that anyone have died in. In Wyandotte, Johnson County, Leavenworth County, all in eastern Kansas. Somebody in Topeka, actually they've had 3 deaths in Topeka. Southeastern Kansas, Crawford County has had 1 death, and Montgomery County has 2 deaths.
That's crazy.
Is that
That's
where
where
you're
I'm
from,
from.
Amber? Montgomery? Yeah. So they have quite a few. Like I said, Wichita and
is
Salina.
Caney County is Caney not in Caney County?
Caney County doesn't exist.
I thought Caney did. Okay.
No.
For some reason I thought it did. Oh wait, I'm thinking of Coffee County.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Coffeeville's technically isn't Coffeeville not technically even in Coffee County?
No, it's in Montgomery County.
That's so weird. Sorry, continue.
There's 2 other tabs here that are interesting to look at. One is the per capita, and Coffee County actually has a disproportionately high number of cases per capita. There's 289.3 cases per 100,000 people, which even if you look at, let's look at Wyandotte County, for instance, which has a huge number of cases, 161 and 6 deaths, but it only has 98 cases per 100,000 people. So Coffee County has an infection rate that's 3 times greater than Wyandotte per capita, which,
that's super
that's just one way to
weird.
look at it.
Like,
It
Coffee
is.
County isn't even, like, anywhere near Kansas City or anything. Like the only thing in Coffee County is like Burlington, Kansas.
Is it that and
Oh,
maybe
okay.
Chanute. I think it might be
Burlington is where that that's where that nursing home.
Oh,
Remember?
that's why. That's why.
Yeah, that's why that's standing out.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because there's nothing else in that county. There's like, because Yates Center isn't in that county. Emporia is not even in. It's just Burlington and like Lebo.
Well, that kind of makes sense then, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's only like 2 cities, and like Burlington is the biggest, and the rest are all like small or like as small as Bennington or smaller. So I would have a hard time believing they would have so many cases.
One last thing from the maps that I want to talk about is the number of new cases, and the way they show this on the map is the cases are currently doubling and then they have it listed 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, or fewer.
Wow. Okay.
And this is probably the most alarming map for Kansas.
Great.
I'm just going to describe it here. I'd say around a third, around half the state county-wise is painted like orange, meaning 3 days or less of doubling in terms of number of cases.
That's crazy.
Western Kansas has far fewer, but there's very clear centers around Colby or Hayes. No, that has to be Colby. Colby, Garden City, Dodge City. Anywhere where there's a little bit more population, there's a high rate of doubling. So, when we look at the big picture here, it's gonna hopefully get better pretty quickly in terms of the numbers. All these numbers should go down. The real question is whether or not people are gonna continue taking it seriously.
Right. Well, I saw an article yesterday that said that I guess it's expected to kind of hit its apex here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they're encouraging people to not go out to the grocery store anymore.
Oh wow!
At least in this article that I saw that a friend had posted.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know the validity of the claim of the apex in 2 weeks, but I mean the last 2 weeks I've been ordering my anything I need from the grocery store online and just having them leave it at my door for no contact. So I mean, if that's a possibility for people out there, they should do that.
We've been doing the click list where we order online and then we just pop open our trunk in the parking lot and they just dump it all inside, which isn't probably perfect either, but at least it's not us physically going into the store.
Right. Well, it's the same thing. Like you do basically the same thing with the delivery. And they'll just leave it at your door.
Yeah, that seems like a really great idea. Amber, why don't you? I have a mask here that was made by one of my mother-in-law's friends.
Oh, okay.
But I have not made one of these. I got given this and I used it for the first time today. Yeah, it's a really nice. It folds open or whatever to cover your nose, and the filter. There's actually a coffee filter inside, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, tell us about yours. That you've actually been making yours.
I've been making mine. Honestly, the hardest part to find is like the elastic bit. If you're using elastic, that's why yours. I like it. It's got like the bias tape strings that you can like tie on.
Yeah, yeah. This one, there's no stretchiness to. Yeah,
but mine's the same thing. It's got it'll fold out like that and expand to cover your whole face, and then it's got a little like filter pocket in it, so you can like put, like you said, put a coffee filter in it, or put other types of like filtration in it, and you can change it out. And the best thing about these is they're washable, so.
Yeah,
that's super nice. But
so, how many have you made so far, Amber?
Probably close to 20, 25.
Wow.
The thing is I'm starting to run out of elastics, so I'm gonna have to start making bias tape ones like that. But I've got enough fabric to make probably close to 40, maybe more. But
So have you given any out yet, or are you? What's your plan?
Today, when I get a chance, probably over lunch break or something, I'm gonna stuff a few in an envelope and I'm gonna mail some. I've got a couple people needing them for like their nursing home staff, and they like are the night shift people. So like all the day shift people come in and take all the masks that they have and use them during the day. And by the time night shift gets there, they're like almost out. So they get one mask and they've been wearing them over and over and over all night. So I'm going to give them to them to keep theirs clean. And then there's a nursing home here in town that is doing the same thing. They get one mask until it is soiled, whatever that means. But they've been keeping them in paper bags like for days on end, and they're going to use them multiple days in a row until they get dirty. So the plan is to hopefully use those masks to like cover what they have to keep it a little bit cleaner, and at least they can wash the outer covering and keep them cleaner longer.
I actually still don't have one. The most closest thing I have is the neck gaiter, and that's not really like any kind of
really, they're saying any face covering that you make is going to be about the same level of protection. Just because, like, if you're not wearing a full-on surgical mask, it's not going to prevent a lot.
Gotcha.
The cotton masks that are sewn like this will slow down some things. It's going to be like the big droplets. So, like, if somebody like sneezes near you, it's going to catch a lot of it, but not like all of it. If you add filtration to them, it's going to do a little bit better, but it's not ever going to be perfect. But it'll keep you from touching your face too, and that's like that's where a lot of it comes. Like if you touch something in public and then you touch your face.
I have made an effort to not touch anything in public as best I can. Like the only times I ever actually go out is for a walk, and I don't touch the crosswalk signs. And with the exception of yesterday, and even then I used my covered elbow to hit it because I wasn't. I had walked from my house to Indian Rock, around Indian Rock and back, which was about a 5-mile walk.
That's a good walk.
Oh yeah, and because I just went straight up iron, so I had to cross Ohio at one point. But even then, like anytime, so I should have worn my neck gaiter yesterday. Anytime I pass people, I generally will just kind of turn my head to the side and not breathe as best I can, as to avoid anything. I know it's not the most effective.
That's functional.
Two quick stories from our lives in the last 48 hours. So, or 24. Yesterday afternoon, we went on a walk close to home here, and there's a neighborhood not far from here where there's a pretty nice backyard with a basketball court in it, and there were 10 high school students playing basketball in the backyard, all touching the same basketball, not practicing any form of social distancing. Yeah, so that was kind of painful to see. This morning I had to go out and I had to stop by our offices to pick up some I had to pick up and sign some checks for our accountant, but I also had to pick up some wheels that I'm going to use for a project. And then I went to the post office because we needed stamps so we could pay our bills. And I stopped by the hardware store to pick up something else really quick. And all of those places, or both of those places, had totally changed their approach to dealing with people.
I believe it.
Walmart is horrifying. I know I'm pretty dedicated here. Like I was going to go get fabric, and that's like the only place in town that you can buy fabric right now. And they have like the front doors caution taped off.
Really?
They are counting people as you go in. They're only letting a certain number of people in at a time, so you have to stand outside and wait in line to get into Walmart. They're like, as people go out, they let one person in, so one out, one in.
Wow.
Every single employee's got some kind of mask on. They don't touch anything. They're like washing carts before anybody can take them. Like the doors, you have to manually open the doors. The doors are shut off right now. So like they have an employee manning the doors and they have to open the door to let you in. It's crazy.
When you were there, Amber, did many of the customers have masks or gloves on?
Not even kind of. Like, I saw maybe one person, but, like, and these people are going out in, like, family groups. Like, I saw, like, a dad and his kids, and, like a mom and dad combo, and they're, like, teenage kids. Like, they're taking, like, they're going to the store in groups still. And I'm like, this is crazy to me. Like, I understand maybe if you're like a single parent and you like have no other choice than taking your kids, but like if you and your husband and your teenage children are all going to the store, like leave them out in the car or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Why unnecessarily expose your family?
Right.
Like,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
The whole time I was out this morning, I only saw one person wearing a mask, and that was at the post office.
Wow.
And most of the post office employees weren't. It was just the one person behind the counter.
Yep.
And I wore a mask and gloves, and I felt really odd because nobody else was wearing it. And,
it's mind-boggling. Like, I saw one person yesterday, and it was at Dillon's, and she was like, she was maybe a little older than us, probably in her 30s. But it seems like middle-aged people are the ones who are taking this more seriously, which is kind of weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I saw a video yesterday of someone who, apparently this family has a system for whenever anybody goes out to the store, they'll come back and then they'll stay 6 feet apart and they'll like grab the bag with like a broom and bring it in, and then they will like scrub them down outside.
I mean, that's a little extreme, but it works.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only time I myself have gone out is for a walk. I haven't gone anywhere specifically. Like, I haven't gone out to any stores. Anything I need, I will either have it delivered.
Yeah, and like me, Walmart. When I walked in, I don't take carts or anything. I just walk in. I carry what I can carry, and I get out. Like, and I don't like touch things and put them back or anything. I get the exact things that I want. And I carry them to the checkout. I check out and I leave. But I really wish that like the checkout stations were touchless. But
yeah, I was gonna say that's
they aren't, and that's like the super rough part, because like you can scan everything touchless, but like you have to push the one button that says you want to pay now, and like my card, I can run it as credit, so I don't have to like punch in the numbers or anything, so I can like just stick it in and only touch my card and pull it back out, but I still have to push that damn pay now button.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's always one push, one touch of contact, and I'm just like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing online delivery, just because I just don't want to tempt fate in that way.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. You know, the stories I hear from like New York and California, it seems like they're taking their social distancing a lot more seriously than the general public is here. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a separation and differentiation between here and there. If things, you know, continue to get worse or stay bad here and they get better there, or if there isn't, you know, it'll just be interesting. I just hope people will take it seriously as long as they can. So
definitely. On to happier topics.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So what did you guys do this weekend? I know, Gus, I saw that you watched Onward.
Yes, Hannah and I watched Onward, the new Pixar movie.
I finally watched it yesterday also.
Oh, yeah?
What did you think, Tim?
I loved it, actually. I haven't watched the last couple of Pixar that come out. Not because I wasn't interested. I just hadn't made it out to the theater. And so this one, my brother had texted me like weeks ago, because he went and saw it in theaters, and he's a huge he owns like every Pixar movie ever made. His office at work, actually, he has posters from pretty much all the movies like up in his office and on the walls and stuff.
Cool.
Like,
that's cool.
For Christmas one year, I got him a Buzz Lightyear. So he's got that up in his office too. But anyway, so he had texted me saying that he thought I would really enjoy it, and that the brothers reminded him of him and myself. Which is delightful. But no, I really loved it. I love the D&D influence. I love just the fantasy elements of it. And I'm not going to lie, I straight up cried at the end.
Aww.
Oh, yeah, totally. It was a wonderful ending. Wonderful ending. It's not as expected as you think it is. You know, a lot of times, you know, you're like, yep, I saw it coming. I don't know. I didn't see that ending coming.
I didn't either.
I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I didn't know quite what to expect with this movie, because I didn't know, like, really anything about it.
So how did you guys watch it?
It's on Disney Plus.
Okay. Do you have to have a subscription, or can you like one time buy it?
I believe you can buy it. Not on Disney Plus. I think last time we saw it was $20.
Okay.
For that.
In theory, you might be able to rent it on Amazon or like YouTube, maybe.
Yeah, it was strange because I know, like, since movie theaters are closed, that they're trying to like put a lot of that stuff online that you can just like buy virtual tickets to and watch, and I wasn't sure
like
where to watch it.
On demand.
Right.
That one for sure is at least on Disney Plus. If you have, I mean, you could always do like a free 7-day trial or something, and
yeah, that's true.
And watch it.
Yeah.
My brother and sister-in-law have the service, and because we share Netflix, I'm sharing that with them. So
Gotcha.
Or they shared it with me since they're on my Netflix. But yeah, I freaking loved it. I really enjoyed it.
So yeah, Amber, you're gonna have to watch it, and then we can discuss.
We can group review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we tried that once before. This time I think will be easier for sure. So in addition to as far as this weekend goes, pretty much the only thing I did beyond like surprisingly Saturday was a busy day for me. Half the day. Like I slept for like half the day, and then the other half was filled with D&D, and then immediately after that improv, and immediately after that video games with friends online.
Nice.
So
I spent the weekend sewing masks. That's pretty much what I did. I converted my little workstation here into a sewing station and went to town. Yep.
Nice. Yep. Good work. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hannah and I need to. I think we have a little bit of extra fabric that we could do that with too. So we need to get busy on that.
If you know anybody who's really crafty or has like elastic laying around, I will like come and no contact pick it up because.
Could always use hair ties.
Yeah.
That is actually what I'm using. These little ends, they're actually headbands, like athletic headbands.
Oh,
and,
okay.
One of them will make a mask, and you'll get like a tiny little scrap left over. Once I run out of those, I'm kind of in trouble. I've got some like for thick hair ties that are about the right length, but they're the elastic is a little thicker, so I can't imagine that they would be very comfortable behind somebody's ear.
Yeah.
Now that I have this reusable mask, we had before they advised us not to buy the surgical masks. Hannah and gloves. Hannah ordered gloves and surgical masks. So we have 20 or 19 left of the surgical masks, and we have a great deal more gloves that and so the surgical masks, those ones have the little elastic bands, and I only have worn it for maybe a half hour at the longest, and holy cow, does it make your ears sore. I just couldn't believe like I can't imagine those nurses and doctors. I mean, I'm sure they're used to wearing them anyway, but now they're wearing them all the time.
Yeah, there are people that are like posting pictures and stuff on Facebook of like the back of their ears and how they're like worn raw. Like, I don't know. I can't even imagine something like that. That's just.
And so the most I'd seen was they had bruises from the protective goggles and stuff. They were
like around their face. Yep. Yep.
My general thought is I'm just really in awe of our healthcare system, even though it has its flaws. Like all the people that make it up are just like acting selflessly and doing things that are just truly astounding. Like I heard that the KU med school system, there's a campus here in Salina and in Wichita, and then the big one in Lawrence, or in Kansas City rather, right? Tim, do you know? Yeah. So, but the seniors, basically, they're not really seniors. They're like med students, residents, I guess. Yeah. They have requested to graduate early so that they can join the ranks and help, and get in the hospitals and start treating. Right. And so isn't that just incredible?
That's awesome.
Like, I was just blown away by that. So
that's cool.
Yeah. What slays me is like there's not a better way to wear protective gear yet. Like I don't think we've had to deal with something en masse. Like I feel like if the protective gear was better, we would have things like ear guards to keep your ears from being rubbed raw if you have to wear a mask all day, or like better fitting goggles and like face shields, so like your face wouldn't be bruised and torn up after you wear them for an entire like 12-hour shift, you know, like.
There's along that line. There's a kid that I saw. I think he's involved in the robotics program that I used to mentor, and he has been 3D printing these plastic strips that are adjustable, and you put it on the back of your head,
Hook
and
your
then
mask
your mask
to it.
attaches to it. And it can adjust so that if it's too tight or too loose, you can make it just perfect for your head.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And then there is a really awesome robotics team from Paola, Kansas. They're Panther Robotics Team 1108. And they bought in mass, I forget if it's Lexane or what, but basically pieces of plastic. And they've been making hundreds of face shields to give to their local healthcare people. So
that's cool.
I wish I knew where to get ear guards, or like I knew somebody who was making them, and I would give them out with my masks.
Yeah, I wish, like, I would love to be able to 3D print stuff, because I think there's a lot of things that they could use right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I knew how to 3D print things. Like Kansas Wesleyan used to have 3D printers, and I used to print stuff all the time.
Cool.
But like, I don't have access to a 3D printer anymore, so it's kind of.
Yeah.
I never have actually 3D printed anything.
Really?
Like I knew like Dr. Kramer had that 3D printer, and I had some stuff that our friends that had 3D printed stuff. I just never had worked with the
they have like
software.
a whole lab of them. They've got like 6 or 7 3D printers. Yeah.
My brother-in-law, he owns a machining company here in Salina called A&B Machine, and I don't think that company's really doing 3D printing, but he's done some 3D printing in the past.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. Well, this is a exciting week in that it is the first time we're going to have a special guest on the vlog. Tomorrow's vlog, we will have our friend Grant Dorsey come on. He was involved in our radio drama production a few months ago, and just a really fun person. So we're going to have him on tomorrow. And I'm trying to convince Hannah to come on the vlog sometime this week. And you guys, if you come up with anybody who'd like to be on, or if you, the viewer, would like to be on, we would be interested in having some special guests on to talk about what you're doing during this social distancing period, and what you're doing to stay busy. So,
I mean, the closest person next to me would be my cat, and I don't think she's interested.
And she's already been on too. She's just not in a long form version.
Yeah. On that note, though, I do have a thing for you guys.
Oh.
I do have a gift and surprise.
Oh.
If you go to the Dropbox right now.
Oh boy. Oh God.
So we talked last Friday about how my dad does a train whistle with his mouth. And so I had him record and send it to me.
Nice.
So I thought it would be fun to get your reactions on the vlog.
Okay.
Here we go with a train whistle. I hear the train a coming.
This is gonna be really loud.
Whoa! Whoa!
That's crazy.
I've been watching Boxcar Willie a lot of
He
years,
does it
trying
again as well,
to
a little bit later on.
imitate him, because you know how much I love train songs and train whistles.
Goodness.
And there's that line in Long Black Train where it says, I can hear the whistle blowing from a mile away. Anyway, I hope you like this and hope it works for you.
Yeah, thank you very
Oh my
much.
goodness.
That
You're
was
welcome.
awesome. That was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I have never.
Your dad is
I've
precious.
Indeed.
Yes.
I've never been able to
Yes.
figure out how exactly to do that, and like I said, there, he said in the video he learned it from watching Boxcar Willie, and I've never actually watched Boxcar Willie, but so that's one of those things that I've always been in awe that he can do.
Yeah, thank you, Tim's dad, for doing that.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I bet there isn't another vlog in the country that had that this week. That's awesome. That's very cool. On that happy note, let's call that good for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, we have a lot coming this week. Hope you have a great week and you stay safe. If you like this video, please like and subscribe below. and click that notification bell so you can find out whenever we post a new episode. So for Fili Creative, I'm Gus.
I'm
And Tim.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.